You've been doing all the work. You've been showing up, hitting your workouts, eating better than you have been in years, drinking more water, getting to bed early, saying no to stuff that you used to say yes to. Or you look into the mirror, or you try on that button-up shirt, and nothing has changed enough to make you feel that it's worth it. And in that moment, that specific moment, a voice shows up and it says, maybe it just ain't gonna work for you. Maybe you're just too far gone. Maybe this is what it looks like when you're older. That voice is not motivational either. That voice is a test of how you respond. And how you respond to it determines everything. Now, I'm Pat Burns. This is the Burns Effect. And today we're going to talk about one thing that separates the man who actually transformed their bodies and the one who almost did. Let's get to it. I want to be honest with you about something. There was a point in my own journey where I was getting ready to quit. Not because I wasn't working hard. I was training consistently. I was cleaning up my nutrition. I was doing just about everything right on the book. But about a couple of weeks in, 2-3 months, I looked basically the same. The scale didn't move significantly. My clothes fitting just about the same. And people that I see at the gym, I noticed their progress, but I wasn't progressing myself. I remember sitting in the car after a workout and generally questioning myself, was I just wasting my time? Whether my body just didn't respond the way that other people did. Whether there's something wrong with just me specifically. What I didn't know, what I was just a couple of weeks from my breakthrough, that the work that I put in over those weeks and months was just underneath a surface that I just didn't see yet. That my body was adapting and recalibrating, getting ready to show me something. But I almost didn't find out. That experience changed how I coach, because now I know that that's the most dangerous moment in anybody's transformation. Isn't the beginning, when the motivation is very high. It's about 4 to 8 weeks down the line, when the novelty had wore off and the results just haven't caught up to the effort yet. That gap between the effort and the visible results is where most people quit. And it's where the ones who don't quit separate themselves permanently. Let's start by dismantling the word motivation, because I think it's one of the most misunderstood concepts in the fitness space. And honestly, in personal development in general. Most people treat motivation like it's a fuel tank. Like you start with a full tank, you burn through it over time, and at some point you run out and you need to refuel. And then when you don't feel like going to the gym, or you skip that meal prep, or you fall off for a week, the explanation is simple. You ran out of motivation. But that's not what motivation actually is. Motivation is not a resource, it's a feeling. And feelings are temporary by design. You cannot build a sustainable physical transformation on a feeling. Feelings respond to circumstances. They go up when things are going well and down when they're not. If you're training consistency depending on the motivation that you feel, you will always quit at exactly the wrong time. Because the time when you feel less motivated are always the times when the work matters. So what do people who actually finish the 90 days run on when motivation disappears? 3 things, and I want to break each of them down. The first is identity, not outcome. Most people start their fitness journey focusing entirely on destination. Lose 20 pounds, see their abs, get back to their college weight. And those goals feel motivating in the start because the destination felt close. But by 6 weeks in, when the destination is starting to look far away and a day-to-day grind starting to set in, outcomes-based motivations collapse. Identity-based motivation doesn't. Here's the difference. An outcome-based thoughts sounds like, I'm trying to lose weight. An identity-based thoughts sounds like, I'm someone who trains to eat well. One is a destination you're trying to reach. The other is a description of who you already are. When your identity is tied to behavior, not just results, skipping a workout isn't just a session. It's acting out a character. It creates a different type of friction. And that friction keeps showing up even when the scale isn't moving. This is the shift that I work on with every one of my clients in the first 2 weeks. Not goal setting, but identity setting. Who are you becoming? Not what are you trying to achieve. The second is to process win, not just the outcomes. One of the reasons results feel slow is because most people are measuring one of these two things, the mirror or the scales. And those two metrics are the slowest to change. They're also the most affected by variables outside of your control. Water retention, quality of sleep, hormonal fluctuations, time of the day that you're weighing yourself. If those are the only things that you're tracking, you're only going to ever see the lag. You're not going to see the lead. Start tracking the things that are actually in your control, and that changes faster. How many workouts did you do this week? How was your quality of sleep compared to a month ago? Are you moving better? Is your lower back left stiff in the morning? Can you do things physically that you couldn't do 6 weeks ago? These are process wins, and they matter enormously, not just psychologically, because they are actual predictors of their outcome that you want. Every workout meal that you log, every clean meal, every good night's sleep, those are deposits. The physique change is just a bank statement. When people learn to feel rewarded by the process, not just the outcome, they stop depending on the mirror to tell them if they're on track. And when you don't need the mirror to validate your efforts, you become nearly unstoppable. The third is environment over willpower. This one is practical and most people skip it. Willpower is a finite resource. Research is pretty clear on this one. Decision fatigue is real, and the more decisions that you have to make in a day, the worse you get at making them by the evening. So if your plans rely on having enough willpower at 6 p.m. after full days of workout and stress in life, to choose the right food and get your workout in, that plan is fragile. You need to engineer your environment so that the right choice is also the easiest choice. Your gym bag is packed at night. Your meals are prepped on a Sunday so there's nothing to decide for lunch. Your workout is scheduled like a meeting. It has a time, and the time doesn't move unless something is on fire. Your social circles know that you train. So plans that conflict with your schedules feel like an exception, not the rule. None of that is motivation. That's architecture. And architecture outlasts feelings every time. The guys I've seen that make the biggest transformation aren't the ones who fired up on day one. They're the ones who quietly built systems that made quitting harder than continuing. Now, let me put these three together for a second, because they work as a stack and not individually. You start with identity. I am someone who does this. You measure process win. I can see that I'm doing this. And you build environment. I made it easy to keep doing this. That's the architecture of a man who finished what he starts. That's the difference between someone who looks back at a 90-day program and says, that changed my life, and the person who looked back and says, I tried something like that once. Here's the thing that nobody in the fitness industry wants to say out loud, because it's not a good sales pitch. Real lasting physical changes takes longer than you want it to. Not months, not weeks. We're talking about generally transforming your body to look, move, and function. That's a process measured in months, plural. And the reason it feels slow is because you've been surrounded your whole life by before and after photos that represent someone's best result over the best possible timeline. Usually with optimal lighting, a pump, and a tan. That's not a lie exactly, because those are real results, but the framing is dishonest. It removes the grind in between. The weeks that felt like nothing was happening. The morning where the guy wakes up in a photo also thought about quitting. Here's what I tell every single client that comes to me frustrated that they're not further along. Slow results are not no results. Your body is not a vending machine. You don't just put in the right input and then the outcome just come out immediately. You put in the right input consistently and over time, and then the outcome comes in waves. Plateaus followed by breakthroughs. Flat weeks followed by mornings where suddenly the mirror shows you something different. The people who understand those patterns stays the course. The people who expect linear progress quit during the plateau and miss the breakthrough that was coming. And I want to say one more thing because I think it's important. The voice that shows up when the results are slow The one that's saying you're too old, too far gone, too broken. That voice isn't telling you the truth. That voice is a story that your past experience have trained it to tell. A story built on every time you started something and then stopped. Every time you felt you weren't good enough. That voice isn't reality. It's a habit of thoughts. And like any other habit, it can be replaced with one that serves you better. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. You are a person in the middle of a process that is working. Even on the days that it doesn't feel like it is. Just continue to stay in it. Here's what I want you to take from today. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings are temporary. You cannot build a body or a life on something that is temporary. What you can build it on: identity, process wins, and environment. These three things stacked together are what makes a person go through the week when the results are invisible. And those are the weeks that matters the most. If you're in one of those weeks right now, good. That means that you're a part of the process that most people quit. Which means if you stay, you're already ahead of most of them. Now here's something that helps a lot of people I work with when the results feel slow. Understand what they actually need to be doing during this stage specifically. Not just training harder, training smarter. With the right combination of strength work, mobility, and nutrition that builds for a person over 30 whose body responds differently when they did at 22. I put together a free guide called 5 Ways to Build Lean Muscle Without Feeling Broken After 30. It covers the 5 biggest training and nutrition mistakes people over 30 are making that are slowing their results down, and exactly what to do instead. DM me the word Burns on Instagram at Pat Burns Fitness or under the comment section, and I'll send it to you right away at no cost, no catch. And if this episode hit you somewhere real today, share it, like and subscribe. Send it to someone who's been grinding without seeing results and starting to wonder if it's worth it. This may be exactly what they need to hear to stay in the game. I'm Pat Burns. This is the Burn Effect. Stay in it.